Alright, this blog is called The Art of Projecting, and it's about projecting. Blog, Tara Jones. Is that a mirror in your pocket, or did you just project all over me? As crude as it is, one of my all time favorite movie quotes is from Wedding Crashers, and it goes like this: John Beckwith. Claire's mom just made me grab her Hooters. Jeremy Gray. We'll snap out of it. What, a hot older woman made you grab her can? Stop crying like a little girl. John, I wasn't crying like a little girl. Jeremy, why don't you try getting jacked off under the table in front of the whole damn family? Then you'll have some real problems, jackass. Hey, what were they like anyway? They look pretty good. Are they real? Are they built for speed or comfort? What'd you do with them? Motorboat? You play the motorboat? You motorboating son of a bitch. You old sailor, you. Where is she? She's still in the house? What's wrong with you? Jeremy, what do you mean what's wrong with me? What's wrong with you? John, no, what's wrong with you? Jeremy, no, what's wrong with you? You're projecting. John, drop it. Jeremy, you drop it. You stop projecting on me. Why don't you go enjoy yourself while I go ice my balls and spit up blood? John, drop it. Jeremy, team player. Which is just a roundabout way for me to say into this blog's topic, to start into this blog's topic. Projecting. No, not that thing that guy does in the movie theater. That's different. Side note. Don't get frisky in the back of an empty movie theater. You may think you're alone, you're not. The projectionist grabs the entire staff, and they're all about to watch you while eating their free popcorn with no crusty butter. Trust me, I know this. I started thinking about the ways, yeah, the butter's hella gross, the ways that we project onto others. It's hell it doesn't get cleaned. I mean, in less funny ways, we project onto our friends, our family members, and probably worst of all, our significant others. That's just stupid, guys. Y'all should really knock it off. But the most obvious way of projecting that I've seen are on things you're unable to communicate back with you. Oh, Mona Lisa has a secret. It was 1504. What secret did she really have? Come on, guys. Although she and her husband did have 6 kids. Or did they? Scandalous! That hussy. The mind reels. Anyway, the point is that nature and objects are subject to all our reckless projecting. And I've started to notice 2 ways that I do this very obviously. I have the worst sense of direction of all time. If I were a pigeon, I'd have a magnet strapped to my head because it fucks up their sense of direction. Okay, it wasn't an obvious reference. I always need my GPS, but sometimes I stray. I see the direction she gives me and I get saucy. Psh, you don't know. I know. You can't see what I can. I feel devious, so I blatantly ignore her pleas for me to pay attention. Her desperation increases as I deter farther away from her advice. Go left, go right, she says. Do this, do that. You can't control me, I tell her. I was born to be free. After about 3 or 4 of these deliberately neglectful twists and turns, you're off track. Do you want to start over? But I sense an attitude in her, and I tell her to shut up and stop asking stupid questions. Then she asks again, you're off track. Do you want to start over? After a while of this incessant nagging, I decide it's time to teach her a lesson. I brought in Tom Tom. Tom Tom never nags. In fact, I have a song that I sing just for him as he directs me around the city nag free. I sing it in the style of Frank Sinatra. This is embarrassing and true, and it goes Tom Tom for a time, time for a Tom Tom. Okay, I'm no Burt Bacharach, but the point is I'm teaching my nagging GPS in the same way that every emotionally neglectful and abusive boyfriend does. I'm cheating on her. I'm hoping that she'll blame herself for all her shortcomings, get scared that I'm about to leave her and shape up. I think it's working. The second way I obviously project involves my cat Moxie. Today I was watching her sit in the sun. I thought to myself, how else can I provide for this little ball of perfection? Ugh. I don't like what I just did there. It reminds me of one of those lame posters from the 90s. I just want her to be happy. I give her food. I keep her warm and relatively clean. I take her outside. I give her constant affection and sagely advice. When she's in the major life crossroads, We even do nightly self-esteem workshops together. What else can I do for her? But as I looked at her, I had this sense that something was missing, something I couldn't give her. I watched her sitting in the sun, and I just knew from the core of my being that she was thinking about Nietzsche. I watched her. Her eyes glazed over, she dove into the rabbit hole of her innermost demons. She flew past the metaphysical realms, religion, ethics, and logic. Her quandary ran much deeper. She asked, "What is this more that I seek? What is longing? Is it a partnership? Is it God? Is it a sense of self that I can't attain?" Perhaps, she wondered, it's my ability to attain myself that has kept me perpetually attracted to the unattainable. But then she thought nothing can ever be attained. Even holding an object isn't enough. There's always space between the atoms, and so even on the most basic level, we can never grasp or own anything. In her longing, she wondered, is this longing for attainment of more that keeps me feeling separate from everything? Or is it the longing itself that is universal and therefore my connection to everything? And then she exhausted herself and took a cat nap. I picked her up and brought her inside. Moxie is so interesting. It astounds me every time how a creature of her caliber can be caught in yoga position licking her own butt so frequently. But that's a philosophy I'll ask her about another time. Jeremy Gray, what do you mean, what's wrong with me? John Beckwith, no, what's wrong with you? Jeremy, no, what's wrong with me? You're projecting. The Art of Projecting, Tara Jones.